Christians. This person here asked for me to explain Romans 3, verse 21, which says the following: "But now the righteousness of God, apart from the law, is revealed, being witnessed by the law and the prophets." Now, first off, Paul says, but now the righteousness of God apart from the law is revealed. He says now. And the reason why he says now is because prior to now, it had not been previously revealed. It was not revealed prior to the coming of Christ. And what Paul is talking about when he says now the righteousness of God is revealed apart from the law, he is talking about salvation is now achieved by faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. And he spends a great deal of time throughout the book of Romans establishing the contrast between law and faith. Man can be saved one way or the other. He can attempt salvation one way or the other. He can either be saved according to the law, or he can be, the law of Moses, or he can be saved by the law of faith. And we as sinners have to make the determination as to which one grants us what we desire. So Paul says, but now the righteousness of God apart from the law. In other words, he is saying that there is a righteousness that can be obtained outside of keeping the law on our part. There is a righteousness that we can gain, the righteousness required to be reconciled to God. We can now get it apart from the law. And we get it by faith. And he says, but now the righteousness of God apart from the law is revealed, and that it was witnessed by the law and the prophets. And what it's saying is that the law and the prophets agree with salvation being obtained through the law of faith. And what is he saying? He's saying simply this: even those who were saved prior to Christ, they were saved by faith. The righteousness that David had, that Joseph had, that Moses had, that Jeremiah, Isaiah, Nahum, Joel, Malachi, Micah, Micaiah, Hosea, all of these men and women, they were saved by faith. Not one of them was saved by keeping the law. So when Paul says here that the righteousness of God, which is apart from the law, is now revealed, and that it was witnessed by the law and the prophets, he is saying that even under the old covenant believers were saved by faith. And they testify to that fact. So when you look at Romans chapter 4, you see Paul using Abraham as the example, showing that he was justified by faith. Keeping it in mind that the law of God had not been given at the time of Abraham. That didn't come until Moses. But Abraham preceded Moses, and Abraham was saved by faith, showing us that the way of salvation has always been by faith. And that is what Romans 3, verse 21 is talking about. I've elaborated on this even more in other posts, but I'm more than happy to elaborate more on it. But in the meantime, be provoked and be persuaded.